a little bit when we start, but from being front desk to being like a surgery scheduler and then working in authorizations and then finding out that like I needed something different and I wanted to see if clinical was something I really wanted to do or if I did like the administration side of it. And medical assistant gave me that. I was so happy when I did that. And although I did end up as an ops manager now, I'm still on the floor with my girls. I'm able to help and I'm able to be a medical assistant. Like I'm in scrubs today because we were short. And I don't know, I just feel like as a leader, that's important, you know? So, um,
Absolutely. And I think that was something that caught my eye because we're talking in phlebotomy about the different management styles and, working from a clinic,
mhm,
working from a hospital, and maybe you can give them a perspective of, hey, these are some things they need to know when they're going to work in these different facilities.
right. Okay. Well, we're right at 7:01. So you think it's a good time to get started?
Yes. So if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself for the ones that are
Hmm.
able to make it, they'll probably come in later, or I'll
Okay.
record it and send it out to them.
Yeah, of course. If you can record, I do have my phone here. I'm going to try to catch some pieces too for content. But for the ones that can hear and see me, my name is Nadia Mitchell, and I am a medical assistant by trade. Um, I currently work as an operational manager here in Texas, but my healthcare journey has been a long one. And so I'm happy to be here with you guys. And I still can't believe that I'm here, but hopefully you guys will have me back and I can help you guys as you move through your program. And even after your program, I'm willing to do that as well. So, a little bit about myself. I am originally from Florida, born and raised. I've been in healthcare since about 2013, but I was doing jobs as such as a medical assistant, not medical assistant, but a receptionist, checking patients in and out. I learned insurance I was working at a clinic, what we call like a community clinic. That's where I was doing there. And then I landed a job as an authorization coordinator, which the requirements there was just insurance. So I was doing authorizations for them and they decided that they wanted to build a team, but I was the only coordinator until they asked me would I like to build a team and I said yes. I had no idea what I was doing, but I did it. I built a team of about 15 people. We did intake, which is just insurance, and then we did care coordination. And that's kind of where I got into like the clinical, like, height, weight, talking to patients about their medication. That company went through a merger, which then forced a lot of us out. So now I had to start over from scratch. It's COVID. I was trying to go to nursing school. My nursing school had closed. So I was facing a lot of adversity. I took a pay cut, nursing school closed. And then I went to a hospital system, which was a major hospital system in the Orlando area called Advent Health.
Go
And
SUV. Please safely sign in.
I worked for them, and it was there that I really picked up the knowledge of, okay, I want to be clinical, but let me see how I can do this without going into a bunch of debt and having to spend years of trying to get through nursing school. Um, so once Advent Health opened up a medical assistant program, and the program was you could work, during the day, but then you had to go to school on the weekends and such and such. So I did that, and they also were offering a program for us to go back to school and finish our degree. But I was so frustrated like with where I was because all the jobs had started to look the same. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to enroll in my bachelor's program and I'm going to take my time doing that. But since I really want out right now, I'm going to take the medical assistant program. So I know it sounds a little crazy. I was doing both. I was in the bachelor's program and I was doing the medical assistant. I was working and I'm also a wife and I'm also a mom. So I understand.
So they
Um,
can do all of the things. You were a mom,
they can do, yes.
so you did all of these things while attending a
Mhm.
program, correct?
While attending a program. Yep. And the program was designed so we would work during the day. The program was like 3 days a week from 6 to 9 p.m. We had to be online on class. And then on Saturdays, we did clinicals. At this time, my son is playing football. And he had to sit out this spring season. I was like, if you could just sit out one season for me so that I can finish this, you know, I promise you, you will play next season. And he was a little upset, but we made it through. It wasn't that long. And he did sit out that season. So I had to make some tough decisions. I had to make some sacrifices for sure.
Temporary sacrifices for a big impact is what I
A
like to
big
call it.
impact. Yes, it was so worth it because getting my medical assistant certification, I feel like was the pivot, like was the it was a thing that pushed me into where I am now. So to fast forward the story, I ended up becoming a medical assistant. I passed my CCMA and I worked in OBGYN. When I became the medical assistant, though, I didn't limit myself. I tried to learn every single thing in my office. I tried to learn the compliance. I tried to learn the quality. I wanted to know the patient care, the procedures, all of the things because I knew that I had leadership aspects. I just didn't really know how I was going to use them yet. Then me and my family decided we wanted to pick up and move to Texas. And when I say pick up, I mean we got rid of everything, we quit our jobs and we moved, literally. We came to Texas and that is when I was like, you know what? I have the license and your license will take you far. And that was another reason why I wasn't very nervous about moving to Texas because I knew I had something under my belt that I could take with me that people were using. So when you get your certifications or if you already got your certifications, I know that people are saying the job market is not great and it's hard to find jobs and it is. I'm not saying it's not, but you have to believe that it's true for you and that you can do it and that it's the door is going to open. And it did. So I took my license to Texas and I'm almost done with my program. I graduated my bachelor's December 17th. I think I got like a little less than a month or 30 days. But I started applying to jobs and the medical assistant jobs were like hiring back to back to back. But then I got an inkling. I'm a woman of faith. God told me, you're going to be an office manager. Go apply here. So I applied to this hospital system. I did 4 rounds of interviews, and we'll talk about interview questions in a moment. And um, I was nervous, I'm not gonna lie. But I will say one of the key things that got me the job was my medical assistant license. I had 18 other candidates apply. I just found this out recently. There was 18 other candidates with me who all already had their bachelor's degrees, and it's only an associate's that's required for the position. But it was a medical assistant certificate that pushed me a little bit further than the other candidates. And I had only been a medical assistant for a year. So they really are looking for people who can not only help at the front desk, but you can also support your team. And everybody has worked for somebody who you have a manager who can tell you what to do, but they can't do the job. I don't ever want to be that manager. That's like my number one thing. If I'm going to tell my girls, hey, like y'all need to jump in and do this, I need to be willing to do that too. When they're short staffed, I jump in and I'm a medical assistant for the day. Well, I'm always a medical assistant, but you get what I'm saying? Like I'm not going to tell them to do something and I don't have the license to do it. I try not to operate like that. Now there is a phlebotomy lab in our office. I have not drawn blood, only on the dummy arm. So until I get the phlebotomy training, I will not go in there just because of patient care. But for the most part, I do everything in my office that the girls will do. um that pushes me into the interview process. Was the interview process brutal? Yes, it was. But I believe with like the right strategy and determination, you can find the job that you want. But I did give into the temptation of I need to find a job, I need to find a job. So then I was applying to anything. And then the anything job did call back. And I was so happy that I didn't get those jobs because it wasn't really truly aligned with what I wanted to do. And I think that was the issue. But once I started kind of saying, okay, God, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. And you might have to take out a notebook and a piece of paper and write, okay, this is what I want out of a job, and this is what I don't want. I made a video today on TikTok that talks about, money is something, but money is not everything. If you know that you want to be, a nurse or you want to further educate yourself, when you go into hospital systems, sometimes hospital systems don't pay as much. And that's okay because they offer tuition reimbursement. They offer programs that can help you get to where you want to be. So sometimes the money is not always the key factor. So if you could take a little bit of a pay cut from another place, but they're going to pay for your education, I would 100% do it. If you can find a place that does both, where you're getting the tuition reimbursement and you're getting the certificates and they're willing to pay for it and the salary's great, that's a win. Um, but it
I
was
do want to let
definitely
my girls know one thing. If
Hmm.
you guys are receiving any type of SNAP benefits, have recently been
Hmm.
laid off, and you're
Hmm.
in the state of Georgia, we are approved. Our school, Her Way Training Institute, is approved through WIOA, and they will actually pay for you to become a certified medical assistant. And I think they're in other states as well. I know Texas
Hmm.
have a program as well.
Hmm.
I don't know about the funding, but I know here in Georgia, we do have some funding. We have some students right now that's going through the program, and they are
Hmm.
paying for their entire program, guys. So nowadays, is so many different options
Hmm.
that you can look for. Funding should not be a reason why you can't get certified.
Right. I would say take all the options, all the funds they're willing to give you guys. I would take them and use them as your advantage. Also, with applying to jobs, don't be afraid because you don't meet all of the qualifications, you're not going to apply. I say still apply. Your resume does count. I went through the hassle of seeing people post resumes on social media and TikTok and things, and I bought a resume. Okay, a pre-filled out resume, and I just put my stuff in, and the person guaranteed me that it was going to give me a job. That resume didn't get me any jobs. It was the basic black and white resume, few bullet point. It was the most basic resume that got all the hits from the employers. But once I got in, I saw that they want to just know that you can do this much of the job. They want to look at your resume. They take about 5 seconds. They look, okay, she's got the license, she's got this, she's got that, she got some customer service. Let's call her for an interview. There are a lot of filters on when you apply to jobs, but you can't be scared of them, and you can't be scared of the, oh well, that you're not going to make money in that, and you're not going to be able to do that. If you let that seep into you, that's what it's going to be. You have to keep pushing, keep applying. Indeed and LinkedIn are great, but so many people are applying to those jobs. It's best to go through the company's website and apply that way. You're much more, it's a better option for you to get in that way, is what I'll say. And then as you're applying, be practicing your interview questions. I actually have a notebook right here that I filled up with interview questions. I went on YouTube and I just typed in, healthcare interview questions, because I had been with the same job for so long. I hadn't interviewed for a job in, a long time. And once you get the interview questions, you need to set up your camera, record yourself doing your interview questions, so that way you can play it back, you can hear what it sounds like, and then you can critique it. You don't have to sound like a robot, but you do want to make sure that your communication skills are effective and you get what you're trying to say out clearly. I also developed scenario questions, that being, I'm not thinking of something off the top of my head when they ask me, tell me about a time when you helped a patient. Well, one time I did it. No, I had already wrote this down in my head or on my paper. So when I got to the interview, okay, this one day I was, in a predicament where I had to schedule a patient and they didn't have any insurance. And I was able to spit the answers off the top of my head because I had rehearsed it. But if you just go in there blinded, you're going to be having to think through all the times that you helped somebody and what scenario questions should you answer. If you have 3 or 4 of those written down and you've practiced them, when they ask you, it's going to flow. It's going to sound like you know exactly what you're talking about. You're going to give them the situation, the task, the action, and the results, which is called the STAR method. If you look it up on Google or YouTube, that's like an interview method that's really good. When you do your about me, you need to write that down too. What do you want them to know about you? And they're not really asking about you. They're really asking, how do you fit with us? And so when you read their job description, you'll be able to tell them how you fit in with them. My name is Nadia Mitchell. I've been working in healthcare for 13 years. I started out as a because I know that I'm applying for a management position. I need to be able to know all the positions. I was able to work at the front desk. I've learned insurance. I was able to be a medical assistant. I built a team of 15. I curated my answer about me around the job that I was applying for. And because that's what they're listening for, that's what they want to know, is how can you help them? After you've practiced your about me and after you've practiced your situation questions, please ask them questions, and ask them questions that you really want to know the answers to, not about the pay and the benefits and things like that, but just ask them, what does a successful candidate look like to you? and then they'll tell you their answer, and then you can decide within self, yes, that's me, or no, that's not me. Um, if you don't like phones, don't apply to something with phones. I hate phones. I did not want to be a medical assistant who wanted to be on the phones. That's just me. Some people like to be on the phones, and I'm not saying you're not going to have to be on the phones, but I know that that's something that I don't like, so I'm going to try to do as least amount of phone work as possible. It just When you ask them questions about them, it shows that you're interested. It shows that you really want to know, how many doctors am I going to work for? How many, what opportunities are there for growth? Because then it shows them that you're willing to stay and you're willing to grow. 3 or 4 questions is fine. Research the company. The question, a question was asked to me in my interview. The doctor responded with, "Oh, I'm not sure what our review rate is." And he was really directing the question to the administrator. But I said, "Oh, you don't have to worry about it. Your reviews are 4.5." And they were like, "How you know that?" And they're like, "Oh, you did your research." Yes, I did. I did my research. I feel like that put the cherry on top because I already knew what I was going into. I already knew the hours. I knew how many positions were there. Do your research and then show that you did your research. Once you leave there, you can send a thank you letter to them. I know we've heard that before. I sent a thank you letter after every interview for this job I got. I got not one reply to my thank you email, and it was fine, but it showed them that I was interested in the job. Um, let's see. I wrote something else down, but I
I'm
think
gonna just recap really quick because you gave some really
mhm,
good strategy points. So I just want to
mhm.
make sure that everyone has it while you do that. So the first
Okay.
strategy is go directly to the company's website and not to
Mhm,
LinkedIn or
mhm,
Indeed. And
mhm,
I also put this in the comment section, guys, so you can take notes. The second thing is set up a video and practice. One of the
mhm,
things that I encourage you to do, even if you're trying to do a business, that was such a good tip for her because a lot of you guys struggle with your pitch and you struggle with going
mhm,
live and you struggle with creating content. And when
mhm,
she said that, it made so much sense. Practice makes perfect. The only way to make sure you're going to make every shot is you have to continue to practice that shot. That is a Kobe Bryant quote, not mine. So
mhm,
I really thought that was a really good strategy point that she did. 10 out of 10, highly recommend. The third thing is the STAR method. Not sure if you guys ever heard of that, but I am going to send out an email letting you guys know more about the STAR method because I thought that was a really good strategy as well. And then making
mhm,
sure to ask questions during your interview process. And
mhm.
then I do like the follow thank you email as well. So I'm going to put that on the chat too.
Yeah, that was great. And also, this is going to sound, it might not sound crazy to y'all, but it still sounds crazy to me. So, me practicing those videos, right? I was starting on my phone. And my goal was I wanted to start making content. So I was like, okay, one day I'm going to post these videos, and I never posted them. But then I started setting my phone up in the car after I had got the job, and I started talking about my healthcare experience as a goal between me and my best friend. We were like, oh, we're going to try 14 days. And I was like, okay, cool. But then the views was like 50,000, 9,000 against my 200 views that I was in. And I was like, wait a minute, this might be a thing. And I'm literally just sharing what I do every single day. Some videos don't pop like that. Some videos have 300 views, but I have the opportunity to speak in front of you guys because I decided to make the video. That still blows my mind. So if you want to make content, if you want to make it a business, I say do it because everything is not going to pop at first, but it can. And there's actually people out there who want to know the information. Like it's mind blowing for sure.
Shame because they can't, provide the.
Hmm.
So one of the main things, guys, just do it. Just do it.
Hmm.
Set the camera up and just do it.
Hmm.
The more exposure you get to your platforms, the more exposure you get to yourself. That's
Hmm.
just like if you fill out 100 applications, you have a higher chance of getting
Hmm.
hired. If you are starting a business, the more content you put out, the more you go out and tell people about your business, you have a
Hmm.
higher chance of reaching your sales goal. Exposure, exposure, exposure.
Of course. And something else I did, some people find it a little, it is tedious. track your applications. Go on Google Sheets. They have like some templates already, pretty much. I think they're like pre-filled templates. And you can track how many applications you're doing, where you applied to, who the office manager was. But the reason why you're tracking is because you can put in there your pros and cons, the things that you liked about the job, the things that you didn't with the interview. So when it comes time to make a decision on what job you want or what area you want to go in, you have that spreadsheet that tells you, okay, I really like this job. I really like that manager. I really don't care if they call me back. And it also shows you how many jobs you really applied for, because in your mind, you could be like, dang, I applied to 50 jobs and you really only applied to 15. Um, that was something that I did, and it is tedious and it's time consuming. I'm not gonna lie, but it really did help me to know, what I wanted to do. And something else that ended up happening to me applying to all these jobs, I had 3 jobs in the same week. I accepted all of them because I really wanted the job I have now, but they were taking so long to call me back and I needed the job. So I accepted all of them. And professionally, it would have been right to let them know a little bit more in advance that I wasn't coming. But I did let 2 of them know that I really didn't want, I wasn't coming. The one that I was like, okay, this is my second option. I had to let them know that like 2 days before because of this job taking so long. But I let them know respectfully through an email. But it may be an instance where you get 3 or 4 options and now you get to choose. But if you go for the best jobs possible and now you got 3 or 4 really good jobs, it does make the decision hard, but it lets you know that you put in the work.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so guys, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but as a medical assistant, there are a lot of different things that you can do that's under your scope. So you want to always
Hmm.
make sure that you're practicing under your scope. So
Hmm.
when you attend Her Way Training Institute, you're able to sit for 5 certifications just from taking our
Hmm.
medical assistant program. So you are able to sit and become a certified phlebotomist if you wanted to do that certification. You could. However, phlebotomy is under the scope of a medical assistant, so you don't have to do that
Hmm.
certification. But if you want it, you can. We give you the option. Also, EKG. We just recently had a student. She has a subcontract with the EKG machine company where she is actually hiring EKG specialists now because she has a 6-figure contract. So don't forget about EKG, which you can do under a medical assistant certification. You also can do billing and coding, which billing and coding
Hmm.
are 2 separate things, guys. There's the billing side, then there's the coding side. You can also do that with your medical assistant certification, and then paramedical exams, which is also known as insurance exams. You can also do that as a medical assistant. So we
Hmm.
like to let you know that you do have the option. Even if you don't want to take those state exams at the same time, you can come
Hmm.
back throughout the years and say, hey, I took my medical assistant program with you. Can I sit for the phlebotomy certification? We test with NHA, and NHA is
Hmm.
accepted in all 49 states. The
Hmm.
only state that we cannot take students in is the state of California because they do have a different requirement. So just to let
Hmm.
you know that once you become a certified medical assistant, it's not just one thing. It's so many different things that you could do
Hmm.
with that certification.
It is. And I'm actually NHA certified. I have a CCMA, and I mean, there's so many certifications, but I feel like NHA was for me the most informative. And it prepared me. I also don't know how you guys are going to take your test, but medical assistant with Miss K on YouTube, she has the CCMA or NHA test. And what I would do is when I was preparing for my test, I would ride in the car and I would just listen to the questions. And she asked the questions that are on the exam, and then she would give you multiple choice and give you time to answer them. And if I got them wrong, then I would play that video again. But when I was cleaning, when I was, cooking, when I was doing whatever I needed to do, I was listening to medical assistant with Miss K because the school part teaches you the skills, you know, but you need to practice the questions. And practicing the questions means incorporating it into is especially if you're a mom, a wife, and you work and you got all these things going on, you have to get as much time in it as you can. And then once you get your license, it's not over. You have to continue to learn because things change all the time. And you may encounter people who are not clinical who want to tell you things, and that happened to me. My job is that, oh, we don't need a bin with a red bag for bodily fluids, like things like a speculum, like for pap smears and things. They were saying we could throw that in the trash, but you cannot. It needs to go in a red bin in a bag. And this was somebody who was above me, and I could have been intimidated and been like, okay. I was like, no, absolutely not. We need a red bin with a bag. We don't have to have them in every room. We don't have to treat them like a trash can, but you need one. And the only reason why I know that is because I have the license. So you continue learning, continue studying, continue staying up to date, continue taking the certifications. That's really where the money is. Anytime your job or your school offers some type of advancement, do it. I'm even about to take my CEs now, and it's a course. It's a little bit more expensive than regular CEs, but it's for CMA leadership. And I think that's an awesome CE to do when you guys have to redo your certification because it puts you in that leadership scope. There's a back office coordinator position that you can do as a medical assistant. You don't have to be a medical assistant for long. It's just, do you want to learn what it takes to be a back office coordinator? And that means possibly learning everything. So
No,
I
I
wanted to leave
fully
some time for
agree.
you guys to ask me questions too, if you wanted to.
Yes, that's what I was about to open up the floor
Hmm.
to see if anybody had
Hmm.
any questions.
And I'm an open book, so y'all can ask me anything. I don't really have any secrets.
Any questions? I was going to listen to. Yes, you took our program. Niece took our program, our medical assistant program, and now she is a certified medical assistant. And
Hmm.
some of the girls are in the spa industry. So if you are in the
Hmm.
spa industry, you guys know that there are certain things that you can do that's in your scope as a medical assistant. I'll send out an email letting you know all the things you can do if you are a medical assistant. Not being certified kind of puts you in a box. I feel like it
Hmm.
limits the amount of money you can make in a business as well if you're not
Hmm.
certified.
Hmm.
So I really just wanted to bring her on to kind of let you guys know how you can apply for jobs, give you guys some strategies. I felt like these were some really, really good tips. So do anybody have any questions before we let her go? No questions. If you guys don't have any questions, can you please unmute and tell her thank you? She didn't charge me a dime for this, and I just want to tell her thank you so, so much for giving this information. Y'all know a lot of people do not like to pour into others, but she was
Hmm.
so willing to show up and pour into you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you. Thank you so
welcome.
much.
You're
Thank
Thank you.
welcome.
you.
Great
Thank
I
info.
you.
wish you
Thank
guys
you.
well. You
I
can
have
find
a
me on.
question.
Enjoyed
Oh,
it for
go
the
ahead.
information.
I have a
Somebody had a question.
question. I'm a
Mhm,
medical assistant and I want to
Hmm.
become a device specialist.
Hmm.
And I know that it is more schooling into that. Do you
Hmm.
know how much from being a medical assistant, how much schooling will I have to do to become a device specialist? Because I work at the cardiovascular, and then
Hmm.
like they check the heart, that they check the what is it mm, the oh gosh, the fibrillators and
Hmm.
all of that. So I want to
Hmm.
be able to get into that. I want to be able to learn how to check those, and because I know it's a little
Right.
bit more.
Let's see here.
Um,
I don't know the answer to that, but let me see if I can look it up real quick. I mean,
mhm,
that sounds like a great opportunity. And also
mhm,
people who work with medical devices, DME,
mhm.
things like that, they make a lot of money. They do make a lot of
Yes,
money.
yes.
It says here there are like, I guess it looks like there's another training program for that. So I would
Uh-huh.
assume when they call it programs, it could be a year, it could be 2 years, but I would say do it. Don't worry about how long it takes. And something that I used to say all people used to tell me all the time, and it used to annoy me was the time is going to pass anyway, and that is very true. It's going
Uh-huh.
to pass
Uh-huh.
anyway. So if it's going to take you 4 years and it's something that you really want to
Oh
do,
no.
do it. I mean,
I
I'm
don't
not
think
saying
I
it's gonna
got
take you
4
4
years.
years. You do. You got, I know it don't feel like it, but you got it. I promise. Because I used to say that
Too
about my
old for
bachelor's, but I'm
that.
not going, you're never too old.
Ooh,
Never too old.
okay.
And she went back to school to become a medical assistant
At
after the
56.
age of 50 and did an amazing job. So
Hmm.
what she's saying is the truth. I hear people all the time say, that is a long time. And I'm like, y'all, 2030 is going to happen whether you are certified or not
Hmm.
certified. What you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to happen is 2030 is here and you didn't achieve anything that you said you wanted to do.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. So, with me being a medical assistant, what else can I strive for to get more knowledge
Hmm.
to be able to make more money?
Hmm. Any certificates that your school offers or that your job offers,
Okay.
for instance, like the EKG,
I do,
phlebotomy
yeah, I
for
do
sure.
those, and I do those.
Um, I would definitely get your hands in that pot. And then
Okay.
also too, this is a little sticky one. When you
Uh-huh.
work for the same job for a same amount for a certain amount of years, right? They put
Uh-huh.
you in this box and you get these raises. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you do have to look outside of where you're working for two
That's what
reasons.
I want to
A,
know.
normally they'll pay you more when you go outside. And if you're really
That's
not
what I
looking
want
to
to
leave your
know.
company and they're not willing to give you a raise, if
Mm-hmm.
you're good at your job and you say, "Hey, I found a job making X amount of money," they're going to
Mm-hmm.
counter offer you.
Okay.
And that is where, yes, you have to make a decision. So I would do that, with some knowledge. But
Okay.
sometimes that's what it takes because I believe if I would have stayed in Florida at the same hospital that I was at, I would have not made nearly as amount of money doing the same work that I'm doing now. Um,
Okay.
but I would definitely keep the certificates. I would look for a back office coordinator, or if they used to call them clinical supervisors. That is
Okay.
where you just supervise the medical assistants in the back. I would do that.
Okay.
Um,
What
I would
about
take.
the
Mhm,
after being a medical assistant for 3 years, being a
mhm.
traveling medical assistant?
I would do it. If my son wasn't so young and I didn't want to leave my
Okay.
husband, I would travel. I think that's a great opportunity
Okay.
to see what else is out there.
How do you get started in doing that?
I know a few people who do traveling MA and they work through agencies.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
you have
don't
to
really,
find
you have to
you
find the
have to
agency
find
that will,
agencies.
Okay.
Yep.
All
yeah.
right.
The only difference
Okay.
between traveling MA and like a traveling nurse is normally the traveling nurse is their housing and things are usually covered in their pay and things like that. And with the medical assistant, you get a little bit more money, but the pay is a little, it's not the same. But I
Oh,
think it's worth
dang.
it.
Oh, is it? Okay. Okay.
I think it's worth it.
I feel like it'd give me and my husband an opportunity to really just travel the world.
It will. I am with you on that. I'm with you on
Okay.
that.
All right.
Are there any more questions? I'm open to questions. If not, I'm on TikTok as Nadia Shanice and I post interview questions. I post things
Put
that'll
it in
help
the
people get into
comment
healthcare.
section for me so we can all follow you.
Okay, I'll do that.
Excuse
Let
me.
me. Mhm,
The lady who was just talking, she was saying she wanted to do travel in May. If you
mhm,
look on Facebook, they have a couple of Facebook groups like that I'm in, and they have medical assistant, phlebotomy, traveling, and they pay pretty good. And they have
mhm.
different for how many weeks, what different states if you're willing to travel. They're definitely on there.
Yeah, they
Okay,
are.
so
It's
I
out there.
just
You just gotta look
follow.
for.
Do I
Yeah,
follow
I don't know who I'm talking to, but I can if I
my
can find out who
my
you
na-
are, I can send you the groups on Facebook.
here? I'm about to put my name in the chat.
Okay, yeah, it's a bunch of groups, and they have always hiring for the traveling. And I see the MAs, even the CNAs are traveling.
They
Sounds
are.
good.
They are. I'm open to also doing interview practice questions whenever you guys need it, or coming up with the scenario questions. I think that that's important. I think that that's.
Absolutely. I know I got a lot of great info that I am going to pass down to my students.
Mhm,
Um, don't forget, guys, I just want to recap really quick because it was so good. And I know some people came in late. Top three strategies that she talked about today. First thing first is applying directly on the company's website instead of going through Indeed and LinkedIn. The second
Hmm.
thing was, and I just think this was just like a good gem. So I'm going to repeat this over and over again. Recording yourself and practicing recording yourself, going back and watching the recording.
Hmm.
I've heard public speaking coaches talk about doing that as well. So I highly recommend that because a lot of you guys have stated over and over you do not know how to pitch yourself. That is a great way to practice your pitch. And then she also talked about the STAR method, which I am going to post some information about the STAR method for you guys.
Hmm. And if I could just add one more thing, AI is your friend. I know some people are against ChatGPT and all those things, and I get it, but AI is your friend. If you're having a hard time with your pitch, put your qualifications or your experience in ChatGPT, put the job description you're looking for, and then tell ChatGPT to create a pitch for you. You don't have to take everything from it, but it will create you a pitch, and it is something that you can practice. It will tell you your skills. It'll tell you what you're good at. It'll tell you, if this is a fit or not. That's what I did for my pitch, and it worked. So AI is your friend. I would use AI.
Definitely should be using AI. Well, guys,
Definitely.
we
I'm just
definitely
listening.
wanted to tell you thank you so, so much. We learned a lot. We appreciate your time.
Yes.
If you guys don't have any other questions, I'm going to let our coach go today. Don't forget to follow her on TikTok.
Mhm.
She's giving a lot of great gems. DM her to find out how much she charges for her career coaching because I think it is necessary, especially in this economy. Thank you.
Yes, and if you guys could leave me some reviews, that would be great because I am going to put this out there for people to see and hopefully get some help from. So a review would be great.
Absolutely. Whenever you get a
Thank
chance,
you.
send me a message letting me know you posted.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good
Good
night.
night, you guys. Bye bye.
All right, guys. So I want to go over a couple of things with you guys for like the next 30 minutes, just kind of talking about how you can actually use that, use your certifications in your business. And I don't think people talk about that enough, where if you are certified, you can actually start a business with your certification. And that is something that we do here at Her Way Training Institute. We want to teach you different ways that you can monetize your certifications. So let's first start with the medical assistant. Well, actually, let's start with the phlebotomy because I don't think you guys understand, especially if you are starting. I'm gonna just tell you a couple of things you can do as a phlebotomist starting your business. How many of you guys have heard of PRP services? P as in Paul, R as in rabbit, PRP services.
Me.
So, so as a phlebotomist, you are able to offer PRP services not only as a business in your business, but also as a subcontractor to other service providers, for example, estheticians. So that is not drawing blood is not in the scope of an esthetician certification or license. So they will need to hire a phlebotomist if they wanted to do vampire facials, if they wanted to do plasma with microneedling, if they wanted to do any type of PRP services for the face, they would need to bring you on, pay you how much you charge to draw the client's blood and separate it with the plasma. So one service can be PRP services. Okay, you can offer those PRP services to other professionals, such as, like I said, estheticians, cosmetologists. A lot of cosmetologists offer hair loss services, and using PRP in hair loss is a top dollar service. Another person that may need your service is an eye doctor. And one of the reasons or one of the things that you can offer is PRP eye drops for people that have really, really dry eyes. So that's not only a service, it's also a product that you can offer as a phlebotomist. Of course, you guys know that you can offer labs. Let me just give you an idea of, so you own your own spa business or wellness business, right? And you have an in-house lab accounts where you can offer different types of tests. So if you are, y'all know this is my favorite website to pull up. I've pulled it up over and over again. If you are a phlebotomist, and this is one of the easiest lab accounts to get, which is why I always pull it up, all they want you to have is insurance and to be certified. You're going to go all the way down to the bottom. You're going to put, I am a phlebotomist, and you're going to create your accounts. It does cost $100, but after a certain amount of successful draws, they will actually give you back the $100. Okay. It's Alta Labs, but they offer so many different types of tests. So you own a wellness or a spa and wellness business, you need wellness labs. It's a reason why your clients are feeling sluggish. It's a reason why she cannot lose the weight or she feels bloated all the time. One of the ways that you can help her is getting some tests done to dig a little deeper. Now, you can't give her any results, which you don't have to, because everything will go through the lab. Why would I go through you and not the doctor office? Because you will be more affordable. Y'all, people are going to lose their health care benefits at the beginning of the year because of the whole things that the government has going on. What does that look like for a person that is losing their health benefits? It looks like them finding more affordable places or affordable ways to get these labs done. That's you. If you are a certified phlebotomist or medical assistant, then you need to be taking HSA, FSA, H as in Harry, S as in Sam, A as in Apple, F as in Frank, S as in Sam, A as in Apple. I'll put it in the comments too, just in case my accent or I'm talking too fast. People are going to need you now more than ever. Okay? I don't think I understand the question, Dorisi. What are you saying? I'm sorry.
Oh, how do I get the needles? How do I get how do you get the needles to draw? Or do they supply you with those needles? So
Oh, you need the supplies? You can get supplies. So do you if you have any in-house accounts, some of them will sell you the supplies and some of them will give you the supplies. I like specialty labs. Specialty labs will actually give you supplies, but all you need to do
oh,
is use your certification to open up a
I really need to find out more about this so I can tap into this one.
Yes, so you can get your supplies through the actual labs, or you can just open up a supply wholesale account and
Uh-huh.
you can get them for cheaper and get all of your supplies that you need.
Okay.
Some of these are actually on the Herway website. So if you have we have a 5, a 10 kit draw. So if you want
Okay.
5 draws, 10 draws, I think we have this on the website with the tubes
Okay.
and the needles and everything.
I gotta tap back into this. I'm still here. I'm just working a lot of, but I'm still here.
Love it.
You're the one who told me to become a medical assistant. Now I'm a medical assistant, but I'm still here.
Now she has a job, y'all, and she's making money. Oh, I told her to make money. I feel so bad. I feel so bad.
Right. Got a spa. I got a job and I teach. Oh my goodness.
I love it. I love it. Love it.
Okay, but I do need to tap into this. So I might be reaching out, be like asking questions how to get into this.
No problem.
Okay.
So that is so when people say, why would I go to it's because you are accessible. You've built my trust. I now trust you. I trust you more than the doctor offices. Why? Because I just saw a video of a lady in the lobby, pregnant, crying out for help, and the damn hospital didn't even want to help her. So people are looking for people that they can trust, healthcare workers that they can trust, also more affordable ways to get the things that they need. You need your lab work done. So I know I do not want to get my lab work done with you guys because you're going to charge me more, 10 times more than if I go and support this small business. She gets the labs. I get to follow the results. So it tells you to order right here. You order the test. You are the nearby lab, so you would actually be the one. They tell you to go to the nearby lab because they need you to draw the blood, but you will draw the blood, and then your clients will get the results online. So every they set up their accounts, the clients will get the results. You don't have to do anything else. If there's something that is a red flag, they can go and talk to their doctor and say, "Hey, I just got these labs done. You do not have to charge me $600 for labs because I already got them done." That's where you come in. That's why you guys have to get certified. Where we're going right now, people that are not certified, first of all, people are not going to trust you anymore. I just saw a post in our body contouring group, and they were like, "You don't even need the certification." I was like, "See, this is why I don't let people post in this group. Because why are you telling this girl this? You cannot start a business off of watching YouTube videos. That is the most insane thing ever. You are dealing with actual humans that you can cause harm to. Are we okay? Are we okay? And honestly, at some point, if you want to be respected, you are going to have to put something behind your name. It can't be a one-day class. It is going to have to be you actually getting certified in something. I think that's the difference between information and education. And I think sometimes we try to mix those two and they're not the same. Information and education are not the same. You get information from YouTube, you get information from Facebook groups, you get education when you actually step into a school and get certified. And you heard when she spoke, she was able to move from Florida to Texas and immediately find a job because she had a certification that she could take from state to state. So, what can you do as a phlebotomist? These are just some of the things that you can do. Like I said, you can offer the different types of tests. You can offer the PRP services. You can become a specimen collector, offering DOT and non-DOT services. You can also start a pre employment background agency where you're running background screens for people that are trying to start jobs. Um, you can also do DNA. DNA goes so deep. I've talked to you guys about getting an account with DDC, D as in dog, D as in dog, C as in cat. Do they charge? Yes, they do charge. Why do they charge? They charge because they saw an influx of or increase of people signing up for their services and they were not making any money off of it. And as any business, when you see an opportunity to make revenue, you do it. I can't blame them for that because they are a business and they saw an opportunity to increase their revenue and they did it. So once again, because you have access to more information, you know about DDC, which is why DDC decided to now they charge $750, which they wasn't doing that before. You can become an affiliate with the affiliate. They already have the prices set. You just kind of push people to their website, push people to them, and then they give you a percentage of it. So if you're low on funds and you want to start off as an affiliate for DDC, you can. But these are just some of the different types of paternity tests that you can take. It can be DNA testing on animals. It could be DNA testing on siblings, on the deceased. Like there's so many different types of DNA testing that you can offer in your business as a phlebotomist. Okay. So that's for my phlebotomy girlies and people I hear people say all day, "Oh, phlebotomists don't make any money." That's not true. You just don't know how to capitalize off of your certifications. You have a money blockage. That's what that is. Okay. Next. Medical assistance. Like I said, if you attend Herway Training Institute, you are able to sit for all 5 exams, which would be, and we don't charge you anything extra. You just have to pay for every exam through NHA, not through us. But we don't charge you anything extra. You're able to sit for the medical assistant test, phlebotomy test, EKG test, billing and coding tests, and then you're also able to sit for the paramedical exams. So you'll be able to walk away with 5 different certifications for the price of one. Does that make sense? As a medical assistant, if you are in the spa industry, which some of you guys are, you can do sub-Q injections, which is the injections that we do with our Scope RX. It's the injections that we do with our Bum Bum Boost. We cannot use a cannula. However, we can use insulin needles, 1 ml needles, anything that's sub-Q injections, okay? Any injections in the fatty area. Those are what we want to target that's under our scope as a medical assistant. We do not use any type of prescription drugs, so you don't have to worry about having an MD because nothing that you are doing is a prescription. Okay? Does that make sense? Another thing you'll be able to offer, which one of our students got a contract to do vaccinations. She got a contract with Walgreens for the flu vaccination. She goes out to the different senior care facilities for Walgreens. They subcontract her out to the people that are not able to actually come in and get it done. So she was able to get a contract with them. You're able to contact pharmaceutical companies. Let them know that you offer mobile phlebotomy services. So any of their drugs that they are trying to get FDA approved, they have to have the data that supports that their drug actually works. So what do they do? You're a pharmaceutical company. You find a doctor that's willing to do a clinical trial for you. You guys have seen clinical trials. People get paid to do clinical trials. So, what does that look like? She may have to go back and forth to doctor's appointments, or he may have to go back and forth to doctor's appointments to get lab work. That's where you come into play. So, when you're pitching to the pharmaceutical companies, you're letting them know that you can go get all of the blood work done for anybody that's doing their clinical trial. That's going to help them get more people to sign up because of a conveniency, the conveniency of mobile phlebotomy. You do not have a money problem. You have a money blockage problem. Money is all over. It's all over. It's just, we're not going out to actually get the money. How many of you guys are going out and telling people about your business or your services every single week? She gave such a helpful tip. I remember my public speaking coach told me this. I don't know why I never shared it with you guys, but one of the ways that you get really, really good at speaking to people is by practicing. So you do videos and you record yourself and you pitch. Who are you? What do you stand for? What certifications do you hold? What credentials do you have? So if you're coming to me and you're like, hi, my name is Ebony and I'm a body contouring specialist. What's that? I do body contouring. You had to go to school for that? Are you a nurse? No, I'm not a nurse. Because your body contouring certification don't hold no weight. If we keeping it a buck. You went and took a DOT class. So now you're doing DOT testing. Okay, and what else are you doing? Because you're limited to what you can do because you're not certified. So now you got to pay, but I want you doing my DOT testing. But now I need more services and you can't even do the services for me because you're not certified. So now you have to go and subcontract that work out. So now you're the third party and you get paid. By the time it gets to you, it's pennies on a dollar because you have to go out and hire a medical assistant or phlebotomy to do a job that all it would have took you was 3 weeks of your time. Just 3 weeks. Like she said, it's going to happen regardless. 2026 is going to come regardless. Our next class is in January. And then after that, so we do a class every other month for phlebotomy, and then every 2 months for medical assistant. We are located in Swanee, Georgia, but our programs are hybrid. That means that all of your coursework is going to be done online, and then you'll come in person for your clinicals. If you don't look at yourself as an investment to invest meeting online to get certified, then coming in person to do your sticks and your hands-on portion, do you really want it, or do you just like hearing yourself talk? We've had women in our program that have children. Coach Shay, I think she has, I don't want to give her more kids than what she has, but she has kids. And she drove down here with her kids for clinicals and just had someone watch the children while she attended clinicals. Nisi came down here, did her clinicals. You have to look at yourself as the investment. Doing something temporary, saying, hey, you can't play sports right now because mommy needs to make some money, okay? Sports cost money. Your kids ain't even that good at the damn sports anyway. We have to make temporary, they not. You have to make temporary sacrifices. Any questions before I let y'all go?
Y'all
Um,
should definitely take the class. It was definitely worth it. I have a lot of different, I be doing so many different things. It's crazy. People, I thought you was doing, I do that too, but I do this too. So it's a lot of different stuff y'all can do with that certified medical assistant. So y'all need to do it. You can't afford not to, because I didn't think I could afford not to when it's actually been saving me in so many different ways.
how many kids you got, Shay? I just gave you a lot of kids. I was
Woo,
about to
like a lot. I got 4 boys between the ages of 3 and 9. So that's technically like about 6 or 7.
say, love it.
Boy.
And guys, injections are not under the scope of phlebotomists. So you cannot do any type of injections as a phlebotomist, by the way.
Sabrina,
Hmm.
um, so do you have any type of well, I want to do your medical assistant program. I
Hmm.
mean, I'm already a phlebotomist, and actually, I don't even know. I'm always busy, and I don't know. But number God put me on your on here tonight because I have been working on trying to get a mobile lab and a lab in my spa. I am a phlebotomist. I've been a phlebotomist for a year and a half because you told me to go get it, and I got it here. I've never used it. I'm actually getting. I'm doing CEUs now because it's time to renew it. So I really, really want to try to get that in my spa. I have a spa, and I really want to get in there. But I want to get in your medical assistant program to do the injections in the spa. So I heard you say you could do it online. How much is your class, and do you have any type of programs that can help, or do you have any payment plan systems or anything like that?
Yes. So great questions. We have some grants. They are pending. So the grants won't cover your entire tuition, but we will be able to put some money towards your grant money.
Okay.
Y'all, we're not winning grants like how we was before because grants are totally different under this government right now. So it's on a first come, first serve basis. And yes, you can make payment plan arrangements. So let's say that, the grants pay 50% of your tuition, you will be responsible for the other 50%. You have to have it paid off by week 4 of the program. So by week
Okay.
4, you have to have it we have to have it paid off. We used to do in-house financing, y'all, but we have had such a bad time with people paying their payments. Unfortunately, we cannot do in-house funding anymore, or we'll be out of business. So that was something that we just had to put a stop to, but we do offer payment plans. You can use Sezzle, Afterpay, Klarna, all of those things as well.
Okay, and how long is the class?
So medical assistant is 8 weeks, and then
8 weeks. Okay.
phlebotomy is 3 weeks.
Okay. Okay.
And clinicals are usually during the week. So for phlebotomy, clinicals is 2 days. For medical assistant, clinicals is 3 days, and then you test on the fourth day. So you'll need to block out about 4 days if you're going to do medical assistant, and you need to block out about 3 days if you're going to do phlebotomy.
Is that for clinicals?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, we do have an option where you can find someone in your home state, but you would be responsible for finding your own person. We cannot find them for you. So let's say that you are near Derisi. She's a certified medical assistant. She can do your clinicals for you, making sure that you know how to work your EKG machine. She would have to sign off on the clinical forms, making sure that you got your 36 with the phlebotomy. So she would have to sign off. So if you're in a state and you know a nurse or another phlebotomist or another medical assistant and they can sign off on your clinical forms, you can do your clinical in your home state.
Okay.
Mhm.
And you
Great.
said the first one starts in January, so the next one is in March?
For medical
Medical
assistant,
assistant?
yep.
Okay.
Mhm. So our first class is going to be in the middle of January, guys. That's where that one's going to start. Like I said, the grant money is going to be on a first come, first served basis. So if you would like to get your name on the list for grant money, it won't cover your entire tuition, but it would cover a portion. And then all you would have to do is put down $500 to get that started. Great questions. Any other questions before I let y'all go? No questions? All right, guys. Well, I am going to send out the recording and then I'll also send out the information about like the STAR method, kind of recap some of the things that she talked about that I thought was some really good gems. Because what I love is when business is slow, you can pick up a job. So Mr. Reese didn't hesitate not one time to pick up a job while things were slow. I love that for her. So, who says you can't do both? Who says you can't work a job and do your business?
Here on this call at Amazon because me speaking on myself got me working at Amazon. But you gotta do what you gotta do so you can do better.
You got to do what you got to do. I tell people all the time when I first started my business, I worked my job for the first 2 years. A, because I don't like financial stress. Okay. I do not like not knowing how I'm going to pay my rent or how I'm going to pay my bills. And I just like having money. It makes it better when I'm trying to build my business. So it was like when things were slow, it was okay because I knew I had a paycheck coming in and my kids wasn't going to go starving. So I think we just have to make logical decisions, especially when we have children involved. It's okay to go after our dreams and our goals, but we can also do both, which is the benefits of having a certification. Um, with a medical assistant that also handles phlebotomy. Yep. So if you become a medical assistant, you can do phlebotomy, you can do EKG, you can do paramedical exam, you can do billing and coding. Denise has done a class for us before on for my mentees about medical billing. If you haven't gotten a chance to watch that class on Spa League or HSA, please go back and watch that class. 10 out of 10.
Sabrina, I'm sorry. I do have one more question.
Mhm,
I heard when you said phlebotomy, you said they could do the DOTD inspections
mhm.
for phlebotomy. Is that something? Do I need to go get like a separate training on that, or do you already have something for that? Cause I got the phlebotomy and I know about the DOTD, and I'm also trying to add the fingerprinting in there through Identigo. So I've been working with all those people, but DOTD, how do you add that? Do I need to do a training to actually know what to do?
So it's required that you take a 4-hour training.
Okay.
and complete your mocks. I do have a class coming up. So just to let you guys know, we are an approved school where we can actually offer DOT training.
Oh
Um,
wow.
my next class is December the 7th. It is the last class of the year.
Oh my God. Thank you.
I actually, I'm gonna pull it up really quick for you guys so you can see. If you're interested, I'm running it for 129 just until the end of the month. It will go back to regular price December 1st. Oh wow, Miss Murray, you wanna go? You wanna roll? Oh, God. Pre-screening, pre-employment screening is another service. So if you're in HSA, we did a training on that as well. So please go back and watch that training so you can now offer pre-employment screenings. So if you're trying to do the whole rapid drug testing DOT, think about it as a package. Always look at one certification and say, hey, how can I make money off of this at least three different ways, right? So I'm starting my DOT business. I'm offering DOT testing. All right. The next thing I need to offer is rapid drug testing because DOT, non-DOT, that kind of goes hand in hand. So now I'm doing rapid drug testing. The third thing that I need to offer is pre-employment screening. Why? Because every single truck driver has to have it. Every single, so why not offer that? So now you have become their compliance manager. Compliance manager, you can start subscriptions where every single month you are targeting small trucking companies, right? The ones that have anywhere between 3 to 5 trucks. And you're becoming their compliance manager, making sure all of their drivers are DOT compliant, making sure that everybody has a pre-employment screening, making sure that everybody, all the drug tests are done. That's how you make money in this economy. It's so much money floating around. Everybody ain't broke. I need y'all to log off social media and go to reality, okay? It's a lot of money out here. We just got to go out and actually apply ourselves. The thing is, we're still trying to do and use these certifications from 5 years ago. Oh, I took a class 5 years ago. Congratulations. Shit. Now, 5 years later, what are you doing? They're not even teaching the same things that they taught us in college. I graduated from my master's program in 2009. They're not teaching the same damn things. Like, we gotta stop that. And with your DOT certification, it is good for 5 years, y'all. It is good for 5 years, in all 50 states, and the mocks are included and it's done online. Any questions before I let y'all go and lose my voice? No questions. Well, I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you guys have an amazing day. And if y'all need anything, give me a shout. Oh, am I missing a comment? All right, guys. Don't forget if you need anything, let me know, okay? Have a great night.